Welcome back, and today we do have the chance to take a look at a very special turn-based gacha RPG of Seven Knights Rebirth. Now, I've personally never played the first edition of Seven Knights way back in those days, but for those of you who have tried this franchise in the past, then this will definitely feel right at home over here. With 100 million players, 100 million hearts, a legacy reborn, Seven Knights Rebirth has officially launched globally on the 18th of September. Experience the classic nostalgia of the past remade with modern graphics, gameplay, quality of life, and content all bundled into one. So I'm just gonna jump straight into the gameplay. For the actual main story, you're gonna be bombarded with an extremely cinematic fight as well as cutscenes, showcasing these insane boss fights with different units that are fully voiced and animated with cutscenes and dialogue along the way with a skip option. After attempting to combat a demon, it will cut into the login screen where everything resets and adventure alongside with Evan as well as Kareen. The main story then eventually progresses linearly as from chapter 1 all the way so on and so forth, with additional lore and dialogue along the way, also all completely fully voiced. As for the combat itself, it's gonna be a turn-based RPG combat where you have access to basic, passive, and 2 different skills. As usual, everything is fully animated with its unique flair and usage according to your teams. The progression early on is fairly straightforward, and this game has an extremely time-friendly system with auto-farming, auto-progressing, and even auto-skill management all into one from what I've seen in the story as well as the power-up dungeon. So for the auto-farming system, you essentially can continuously let the game farm in the background for you, which is going to be the Ruby farming method, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. The auto-progression, which is after you clear a single story stage, you can actually take the option that can allow players to automatically go into the next most difficult stage every single time without fail until you eventually encounter a defeat. And lastly, auto scaling, where you can actually select the skill order for your units for 3 skills and let them be used in the stages as per accordingly. So sometimes you want to use a specific unit for skill 1 or skill 2, you can chain these together to make some very interesting combinations, and the depth and strategy of this game will be utilized as you're going to be exploring this game a little bit further, right? So that is pretty much going to be it for the main gameplay. As for how do you upgrade and make your team even stronger, it's going to be by 2 main methods, by power-up heroes as well as your upgrade equipment. For your power-up heroes, you actually have a lot of different means. So the first of which is going to be the power-up dungeon, as you can see over here. This is a daily limited entry ticket which gives you the materials to upgrade your respective elemental heroes, a system which isn't too strange if you have been playing gacha game for the past couple of years. Seven Knights Rebirth also give you a starting roster of 3 units to help you get through the initial stages, and each dungeon does have its unique environment which will require you to utilize specific skill effects and immunity to defend against enemy attacks. So for example, the fire dungeon is going to be wanting freeze damage, water for poison damage, earth for flame damage, light for the number of hits, and darkness for the bleed damage. Last of all, it's going to be the gold dungeon, which is going to be unlocked as you progress in the story a little bit further, right? So that's going to be the typical farming your elements, farming your traces, your materials to upgrade your heroes. And another one is going to be seen over here, the ruby farming. So Seven Knights Rebirth has access to this ruby farming system to fully automate your farming process in the background using your stamina, which are going to be called your keys, in which you obtain your materials needed to upgrade your heroes, which you can then make your team stronger and progress through the story, making a very simple loop. So as long as you're going to be playing through the story and you're going to be stuck, you can go back into ruby farming, and once you're done with ruby farming, you can upgrade your heroes even more and can then go back into the main story again. So it's a very simple loop for players to upgrade your teams, although keep in mind enhancement is not going to be recommended for your low star heroes, because you can see over here the odds of failure are extremely high. So always increase the star levels first and follow them step by step based on their stars. And do know that ruby farming and main story quest progression cannot be completed at the exact same time. And then lastly, we do have the equipment over here, which is a classic equipment upgrade which you can obtain from the games as well as the drops in the shops, with sub-stats unlocking at +3 levels based on your classic RNG. So something to see over here. But the gearing system for this game is pretty straightforward. There's pretty much just 3 different equipments, and it also does come with its own equipment sets, right? So the relic loadout system, the equipment loadout system, you actually have it up to 10 different sets, which I think is, absolute cinema. So you can kind of tune these different gears for different heroes and see which one do you prefer. So other than that, we're going to be getting into some of the classic stuff that we're going to be seeing quite frequently. We do have a couple of missions over here as well, so you do have the access to the achievements, helping you guys go through with your daily achievements. So typical progression stuff for your repeat missions, so they can get more and more of these jades. And then for dailies, it's also very straightforward. I finished this within literally 5 minutes, so very fast, and get them to the progression. And for this job over here, you also have access to a couple of the exchange shop, which are going to be your gold, ruby, and your topaz. So some of these are going to be free. You can just go ahead and claim them. For your gold, you actually have access access to the hero summon voucher, which is going to be required for you to do your gacha summons. So you can just go ahead and pick that up, and you have a lot of gold because of the pre-registration rewards. So it's not going to be too scarce on gold at the start. So we do have a couple of uncommon heroes as well as common heroes. Most of these you're already going to be using them for your photos in order to make your hero even stronger. The eggs are basically things you're going to be using for a pet system, which are going to be unlocking after you play. I believe it was 3-5 in the main story to unlock your pet. And lastly, for a general shop, these are basically your refreshable shops over here, so you can just go and guide them. So the gacha summons, arena tokens for PvP, all that kind of stuff is gonna be, you know, the classic shop over here. Now we can talk a little bit more about the gacha system of 7 Night Rebirth. So for the gacha system, currently, because of the pre-registration rewards as well as the new users, you do get 20 pools right off the bat when the moment you log into the game, with a 10 pool guaranteed beginner banner. You can see over here, getting a random SSR. I did get a robot Kawawa girl, so that's gonna be absolutely, you know, insane. I'm not exactly too sure who should be summoning on with these multiple banners, but probably not Cow, as you guys can see, because you are gonna be able to get a Cow completely for free using this code right here. This is gonna be a limited time code, so be sure to claim this for a free Cow Cinema Absolute Cinema unit. I'm not too sure how strong he is, but basically a free 4-star, which is gonna be in a rate out, which is gonna be going away after November 13th.
I have tons of good news for you.
Clinking metal. I'll watch you die.
So the rates, as you guys can see over here, is gonna be guaranteed after 100 summon, but there's gonna be a 50-50 for the 5-star or the highest rarity, the 4-star legendary heroes. And if you do not get it in the first 100 summons, then the next 100 summons is gonna be guaranteed the next up. So that's gonna be, see over here, 50% for the rate up, and all the others are gonna be the different legendary heroes. And then guaranteed rate up is gonna be at 200 summons over here, but before that is gonna be at a 1% off before you actually get into 200 pools, right? So all the different banners, they are gonna be roughly the exact same number of rates. So 99 summons, you're gonna be guaranteed on the 100, and there's also a pet summon over here which doesn't really have a limit, so you basically just summon all of these legendary pets for you to add into your journey itself. For the pool currency, it's pretty much going to be 1000 rubies for a 10 pool. So for example, if you go over here, slam this 10 pool, you don't really show this again, and we're going to see just this animation, you know. Yep, and there it is. The highest possible rate through the gacha is going to be 4-star, and you can upgrade to 5 or 6 stars through Transcendence using duplicate characters. So let's see if we're going to be able to get it over here. This is not scripted, bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. And okay, so this is basically you didn't get a legendary, so it is what it is. And this is a fake out, but I don't think there is. Okay, we do get a free unit over here, which is Sarah. Exceptional, right? And then we have a couple of sales over here. So that is pretty much 7 Night Rebirth's gacha system. So as I wrap up this video, my personal impressions for 7 Night Rebirth, like I mentioned, I did not play the first installment of 7 Nights. I also did this basically my first time ever getting into the franchise. And I must say, even though I am fortunately sponsored by 7 Nights Rebirth, the quality of this turn-based gacha was actually extremely impressive. You can see from the footage as well as the B-rolls that you have seen from throughout the entire video, far more than what I expected at first. The graphics are super clean, super high-end, mobile user-friendly. It was very smooth, didn't really have too much of a lag so far, and the combat does have a lot of respect for your player's time, so you can fully automate your progression as well as farming in the background. We also have this available on PC via Google Play Games, which runs extremely smoothly because 7 Night Rebirth does come with its own client, so no emulators are going to be needed over here. And I'm pretty sure as a turn-based enjoyer such as yourself, you are going to be familiar with the typical team building. So we have different formations which can upgrade, making your different formations even stronger. So you want 2 vanguards, 3 vanguards, 1 vanguard, or 4 backlines. You can just kind of tune by yourself, and different units will definitely have their different roles in their respective utilities. So you have your mage, your core control, your buffer, your support, your tank, your sustain. So if you are interested in this kind of like hero collecting turn-based gacha game, then this is definitely going to be the one right up your alley. So as of right now, if you log in, you can receive the legendary tier Rachel and Ace, which you can see you gave it straight out of the bat, a 5-star pet Croa, 2.5 million gold, a Vanguard set, and 100% guaranteed. Once again, Cow is going to be given completely for free using this code over here, which is going to be a time limited code, so be sure to claim this before it's going to be too late. So if that we've come to the end of today's content, let me know what you guys think of 7 Nights Rebirth. If you do want to download, check out the link in the description as well as the pinned comment. Thank you 7 Nights Rebirth for sponsoring today's content. All the best for gacha pools, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.